Today, I'm going to try and show you how to do this. So what I'm doing in that photo is still wool photography, and it's a form of long exposure photography. Long exposure photography is when you set the shutter speed on your camera to a longer shutter speed, and this allows the camera shutter to stay open for longer. This lets more light into the camera's sensor, and when the camera's sensor and shutter is open for a longer period of time, any light or any movement across the camera's frame is captured and is drawn out. Here's an example. By setting a longer shutter speed on my camera and pressing the shutter when the car drove by the camera, it captured all the light that was emitted from the car's rear tail lights, and that's where you get this streak. So basically, steel wool photography is the exact same thing, only with steel wool instead of the lights of a car. So for the steel wool photography, we're going to set steel wool on fire, spin it above our head, and take a long exposure photograph of the flying sparks. So, in order to do steel wool photography, we need a few things. We need steel wool, a kitchen whisk, a rope, and a 9-volt battery. I have 3 of those things, but I need the steel wool. So let's go into town and get it. Here we are at Woody's. So this is it. This is the steel wool, and I've got everything else I need at home. Steel wool, 9-volt battery, whisk, rope. And that right there is steel wool photography in 15 minutes or so. Anyway, that's everything we need, so let's go. Yeah, so that's not actually steel wool. That's synthetic steel wool. Dunleo. This is actually real steel wool, and this is what I needed. So yeah, this is real steel wool, and you should know it from that synthetic stuff that I got, because like it literally looks like silver candy floss. So now that I have everything I need, all I need to do is wait for it to get dark, because I want to take long exposure photographs, and we need to do that at night time. I also want to go somewhere safe to take these photos, because the ground's really dry and there's lots of leaves and stuff that could easily get burned when I start burning the steel wool, and I don't want to set it on fire. Let's go. So I've come down to the beach because there's nothing I can burn down here, and there's no one I can injure here either. So before taking these photos, along with being in a safe place, it's important that you wear safe clothing to protect yourself from sparks, such as a hoodie, to protect your hair and your face from any sparks flying, and also glasses to protect your eyes from any sparks, and also gloves to protect your hands from any sparks. And I know these are football gloves, but it's all I really had to hand, so let's go. So before you can take any pictures, you have to get your gear together. First, you're going to want to tie the rope to the whisk so you can swing the whisk above your head. Then what you want to do is you want to tear off some steel wool and put it in the top of the whisk. Once you have that done, you're basically ready to go. Then you get your 9-volt battery and touch it off the steel wool. The 9-volt battery sends a current through the steel wool, which heats it up to really high temperatures and then sets it on fire, and then these sparks and embers feed on the oxygen in the spaces between all the wool and in the air, and it burns rapidly. Science! When you do have the wool on fire, basically all you need to do is spin it around above your head, whatever way you want, and take the photograph. Now that you know how to set the wool on fire and what to do when the wool is on fire, all you have to do is set up your camera. I don't have anyone here with me who can take the photographs or who can tell me when to start spinning the wool, so I'm using the time-lapse feature on my camera to take photos of me. So set the shutter speed you want, go out here, do a few spins with the burning wool, and it'll capture the right image. So once you have your shutter speed set and your time lapse is taking pictures every few seconds, all you need to do is count in your head when the camera's going to take the picture. Go out here and time the spins of your burning wool accordingly. It can be a bit of a pain to get it just right, but if you do a few spins, you will pick up that on the time-lapse photos and they will look pretty good. Taking those steel wool photographs, and I think I got some pretty cool shots, even as an amateur. But if I was doing it again, and when I do it again, there's definitely a few things I will do differently. Firstly, I'd bring a lighter with me to light the steel wool, because the battery can be a little bit hit and miss. Well, mine was anyway, trying to light the wool. And I think that's because the steel wool I had wasn't very fine. Maybe the more fine the steel wool is, the better the battery works, but mine was just a bit hit and miss. So next time, I'll definitely bring a lighter with me. Secondly, I'll definitely get help next time I'm doing it, because it just would be so much better if I could have someone stand behind the camera and tell me exactly when they're going to take the picture, so I know exactly when to start spinning. Because when I was doing it, it was a bit hit and miss. I had to really guess when the camera was going to take the photo, and maybe I wouldn't catch all of the wool burning. If you have someone else who can help you, that would really make a difference. As well, I'd probably make sure I really wear the protective clothing, and maybe wear some old clothes that I don't like, because my shoe, the steel wool, the spark actually hit the lace and has burned it in half. So yeah, so I'd probably wear much older clothes next time. So all in all, the steel wool photography I think is really cool, and I was really happy with how it went for me for my first time doing it. I think if you get a bit more creative, you can get some really cool results. After I left the beach, I actually went to this tunnel I know in Drogheda, and I think I got a really cool photo. So just practicing with longer shutter speeds, shorter shutter speeds, and different compositions will really turn out some great results. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Good luck!